Guys, I know some of you have already seen this viral clip of the French president. Candace is going to have a field day today with this clip, okay? And I'm about to tell you why. But first, let's talk about this clip of French President Emmanuel Macron being smashed in the face by his wife. His very, very old wife, much older wife, Brigitte Macron, whom Candace swears up and down that Brigitte was born male and not female, okay? And the French government has failed to produce evidence to debunk what Candace has been saying. Okay, she's done a series about this. Instead of them just ignoring her, they threatened Candace. Well, legally.
Yesterday, I received a letter. It was a strongly worded letter, essentially a legal threat. It was coming from a law firm representing current sitting president, Emmanuel Macron, and his wife, Brigitte Macron.
But anyway, so let's get into the story. So it seems the French president and his wife have started an Asian tour, and their first stop was Vietnam. So they landed in Vietnam in the equivalent of Air Force One. I don't know what it's called for the French president. The doors to the plane are being opened. You see the handsome Emmanuel Macron standing there talking to someone. Then suddenly, a hand comes to his face and bang, right in his face. Like, quickly, Macron realizes that, oops, the door is open and people down the staircase are waiting and looking at him. He quickly gets into formation and waves at the people, right? And then suddenly you see his wife, and you're like, that was Brigitte smashing her husband? What? I mean, that was such an uncomfortable moment. Now, I want you to pay attention to this Asian lady on top of the staircase, right? In the green vest, she kind of walks forward to welcome the president and the first lady as they're talking, but when she sees that hand to his face smash him, she immediately turns around, looks at the other guy and says, "I'm out of here," and they start coming down the steps. Then watch this other unedited video. After Brigitte hits Macron, he walks to the other side of the plane, out of sight. This was to calm down. Then he looks at his wife and steps out, shakes hands with the guy, and she steps out too, does the same. Then, before he starts descending the stairs, he slightly looks back at his wife and gestures for her to take his arm, but she declines. You can see President Emmanuel Macron is mad. It's written all over his face. Look at his fists. They are balled up, but he must smile and receive the welcome. Okay, that's that. Now, when it comes to Candace Owens, she's going to say, "I have been telling y'all." Candace has been saying that French First Lady Brigitte Macron is a transgender woman. According to Candace, Brigitte was born male. Candace says there are no pictures of Brigitte as a little girl, but there are plenty of pictures of her brothers as little boys. And Candace says one of those little boys in the pictures is Brigitte. Candace has a series of this investigation on Brigitte on her YouTube channel. She has a lot of documents and what she calls proof of Brigitte being a male, from pictures to interviews to letters to more proof. I'm not saying Candace is telling the truth. I'm saying she is pretty convincing.
And then John Michael stops existing and Brigitte exists. But Brigitte doesn't exist for the first 30 years, okay? The second photo, the one that I said to you looked a little too recent for an alleged 70-year-old, well, yeah, they were able to debunk that. That's actually a photo of her daughter, her daughter Trefane. You can see now side by side. Of course, that is her daughter. It's a dead ringer for her daughter. So why would you colorize a photo and make it black and white and try to pass it as yourself when it is in fact your daughter?
The French government sent a warning to Candace about her digging into the Macrons, but you know Candace, she ain't scared. They threatened her with legal action, but the burden of proof is on them to show that Candace is lying. Her response to the French government was simple: send me photos of Brigitte as a young girl. Candace believes Brigitte Macron did not give birth to her children. Candace went there. By the way, President Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron do not have children together. Brigitte Macron has children with her first husband. Let's not forget that Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte met in school. She was a teacher at his school. He was like 15 years old, maybe even younger. Today, Brigitte is 72 years old and Emmanuel Macron is only 47, a huge age difference. Most say their relationship has always been predatory from the start. She was 39 and he was 15 when they met, so they claim, but some say he was much younger than that. And shortly after meeting, they started dating, allegedly. He, baby Emmanuel, was a classmate of her daughter. So, was that a glance of what President Macron has been going through behind closed doors, or was that Brigitte defending herself? Maybe he was the aggressor. Anyway, I can't wait to hear what Candace has to say about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next one, bye.